Leader, you have been in office for about 4 months now. What do you find working well and not well? And can you say why?
Yes, things are difficult. The council is learning my relationship. That is the important thing to me because I'm a very unconventional leader. So people have to come to terms with it. But the advantage of that is things are getting done a lot quicker. What is not working well is the money problems. We have problems with the tree pruning, potholes, payments. That is where, even though we are doing a lot more than it was done ever before, but we are doing a hell of a lot more. How we can achieve that is a problem, is a challenge, because the cuts by the government is ongoing problem. But the administration is working very well. We are streamlining the staff. We have cut the most highly paid directors from 30 to 20. So we are saving a lot of money for the Harrow residents. But you also have to think that when you are going through a reconstruction or rearrangement of all the staff, there's always going to be teething problems. How do we motivate people who are worried about their job? If one staff is not sure whether it's going to stay here or not, is that member of the staff going to do the full effort to finish up what he's doing? That's the kind of thing. This is a responsibility of the leader to motivate them and get them to do what we need to get it done.
Well, that's very helpful. Would it be fair to say that you have structures to deal with the situation as the council finds itself in? You have the structures, you have the means, you have the desire, you have the vision, but because of external factors like funding, like whatever comes the policy from the central government, making it very difficult for you to be effectively operating as you would like to be.
Yes, there's a lot of challenges coming through, but I am at my best when my back is to the wall. So that helps me to bring the best out of me. But the vision has to be, how do we provide more and more services to the residents of Harrow without any cost to Harrow Council? That's a challenge I have, and we are doing that. For example, there's a bit of criticism that we cut the budget on cleaning. The streets are going to be dirty and it's going to be unhealthy. So the criticism is fair, but how do we overcome that? Is to spot finding people dropping litter in the street or spitting or chewing gum on the street. If we spot find them, then we don't have to clean it as much as we have been. So it's an innovative way of overcoming the government cuts. That is where we are going to be successful. There are a range of plans are coming there. Another example is that we are very seriously considering to license every single private landlord. Without a license from Harrow Council, nobody could rent a flat or a house to anyone. The idea on that is to not to money make, because by law you can't make a profit out of it, but you bring the standards of the houses up. There's a minimum standards going to apply. So the beneficiaries are all the tenants staying with the private landlords in Harrow. There's a huge income will come, but that income has to be diverted back into repairs and maintenance. So all in all, this is not going to cost Harrow Council any money, but the residents are going to benefit with the high quality flats. There are a number of examples like that.
I think what you are indicating, and you already have indicated, some aspect of your vision as to how you see things could be moved forward. Are there any aspects of the vision which you would like to share with us?
Yeah, I mean, you could have seen that in the last few weeks. We joined the energy switch, for example, whereas all the energy companies are invited to auction and the lowest bidder is going to get the contract, and they are going to write to individual householders of their comparison of what is their tariff now and what the new tariff would be. the residents could save anything up to £200 a year, and for the hard hit people with fuel poverty, that's going to help, and that's hardly costing anything to Harrow Council. It's an innovative way of helping people without taxing them. That's a motto, that's the proof is in the pudding, is happening already.
No, I think that's very helpful. And I think given the situation, as you quite rightly have said, that challenges are quite strong and the times ahead are not going to get better because the financial situation as it is would not improve immediately. You would like to improve the work of the council and you definitely have a vision. I think the situation would be that how well and how effectively you can implement the vision. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Well, exactly. I mean, if you look at this budget now, we have a 2 years balanced budget. That gives us time to look at it. And there's going to be in-year savings, which would be helpful. Then the following 2 years, we are looking at another 30 million cuts. How I come to terms with it? It's basically, that's in a very rough terms, 15% council tax. We're not going to do that. This is why we have the long vision. We put the council tax up by 2% this year. That brings us 2 million. Not only that, that's in the core budget. So even if we don't increase the tax next year, that's still going to bring extra 2 million. So if you do that, another 2%, that could be a 4 million. So we would have recouped £6 million for 46p a week increase. Now that's going to help with the following years. But thankfully or hopefully, if there's a change of government in 2015, I hope the change of government will bring us some benefit. Hopefully they will give us more funding and it's more manageable. But if it doesn't happen, we should be ready. How we are going to cope with that. That is why we are restructuring the whole Harrow Council. We are going for mobile and flex. So that helps people, they can work from home. Their travelling time, their travelling expenses are saved. And we can manage with a smaller building. So our overhead costs will go down. It's a win-win situation. But it's already happening. I'm very confident we can deliver it.
I think that's very helpful, and I think if I read it right, what you're saying is that though because of the condition you have to raise the council tax, which is not all that much, but it is an increase. But alongside that, you have the framework and the structure in terms of corporate planning to absorb the impact of that increase for the people who are vulnerable, who need it most. Is that the right assumption?
Well, it is. I mean, the thing is, if you look at that council tax benefit, it's controversial. Yeah, because it's a government passport, all the benefits to us, but at the same time cut about 10% out of it. So we got to pass some of the things, but we did that quite rightly by having so much of consultation with people and say who should pay what. So people agreed with us. This is a way to go forward to. Not only that, we are building a safety net. This is why we have the Harrow Health scheme, and we have food bank. They can go and get something there. So all kind of things are there. The safety net is there to make sure nobody is left out in the cold, starving and freezing.